Ship, what time is it?
It has been 13 days, 11 hours, and 3 minutes since you entered stasis.
Wow, I've been interactive for far too long. How far away from Augustus?
ETA, 4 hours at our current speed.
My name is Anne Alexander. Once I was a soldier, but now I'm alone. Ship's name stands for Strategic Heuristic Intelligence Program. He controls the vessel. But more than that, he's my only company out here, all alone in the night.
10 minutes to target.
The CSS Augustus, the command ship of the entire technical wing of the military space force, the flagship of the fleet. I know that there's only one way to meet the general, in full combat readiness. Prepare for docking. Activate the suit.
All systems online. Identify.
The suit springs to life, wrapping me in its cold protective skin.
Receiving landing coordinates. Touchdown. All systems nominal.
I recognize the armored soldier waiting to escort me. They say nothing. Protocol. General Lang was like a father to me once, although we would not be able to tell by his expression right now.
Alexander?
General?
3 months ago, our sources retrieved this footage.
What is that?
The texts say it creates a devastating wave of nuclear force. It somehow forms a bond between the four segments and then forcibly separates them. You can see the results for yourself. The majority of the planet's mass was annihilated. Intel says the power source is unlike anything that we have ever encountered before. The closest match was in the Eurodar database.
It's happening again, isn't it? It's them. They're back.
You were chosen for this mission because of your familiarity with the target location and exotic technology. Reach out to your contacts on Eurodar. See what they can do to assist.
Ship, plot a course to the Eureka system. ETA?
Estimated time of arrival is 3 weeks. Should I alert them of our approach?
Negative. Minimum exposure. We just have to risk it at the border. Set return for 3 weeks. As I drift off into hibernation and dream of the past, it was happening all over again. Voss. Adam. 20 years ago, the world just ended. The survivors emerge into a vastly different world. I crawl out of the rubble. The clouds are on fire. Heron City is burning. Where is my brother Adam? What happened? Adam! Despite the chaos and carnage, his presence makes me feel safe. We take shelter in the basement of a nearby house. The other survivors bicker and argue over what to do. A mysterious stranger in a blue hood approaches.
Have you noticed how much everyone has changed?
Adam tried to protest, but it was obviously true.
Look at their eyes, the way they move. They look terrified, wild and trapped. You should go. It's not safe for you here anymore.
We run. We head for the school on the northern edge of the city. We always felt safe here. A broken window gets us in. Supplies! Athletic padding and helmets. We feel much safer now. It's a long way to the train station, but if we want to reach Capital City and find our parents, that is the only route. All of the way on the other side of the city. The shadows are moving all around us. There is danger here.
Aye, what have you got in there? Supplies? Give them to me!
The moment weighs heavy on us. He had it coming. What should we do now?
Let's go.
The train station! Will this take us all the way to the capital city?
If it still runs.
The train station is strangely silent. So capital city's too far away. We can't walk there on foot. Not alone in the dark, anyway.
We could sleep here tonight.
One of the doors holds an access ladder to the surface. We decide to explore it. The grasslands between Heron and the capital city are burning. An entire legion of monstrous machines march towards the city in the distance. The fear is tangible.
We have to hurry.
The only way past them is underground. Neither one of us speaks our fear as we speed towards our destination. The cart begins to shake. The tracks are broken ahead. Could the station at the other end be destroyed? We were underground for a long time, but we have finally reached the surface. Capital City burns. The monsters are already here. We need to find a safe place to plan our move. We find an abandoned parking structure. It's not abandoned enough. Adam didn't see the hand reaching out from him from the darkness.
No! Anna! Ah!
He's gone before I even heard the shout. As such, terrified. I spent a long time in the dark. My heart pounding like a beat of a drum. I have to get up. The pounding of my heart becomes a beat of a song. It focuses me. It strengthens my resolve. I move on, determined to survive. I move carefully and precisely. I sense something.
Hold! Are you alone? You get here all by yourself, kid? Well, you got here just in time.
In time for what?
We are all getting out of here.
Rescue is coming. A race called Uridar heard our calls for help. Their powerful ship distracts the dreadnoughts, while the rescue ship pick up every survival that they can find.
Go, go, go!
We run for the ship. The ship ahead of mine explodes. so close. We were so close. It's from the same nightmare that I always have. Coming back here has brought it all back to the surface.
Good morning, Anna.
Status report?
Approaching the Iridar border.
Do we have any contact?
Affirmative. 3 ships are on approach. Should I ready weapons?
Negative. These are friendlies and we are unexpected, and I don't want to appear aggressive. A familiar voice fills my head.
You have returned to us, child.
IOSs? Are you here?
No, I am still on Uridar Prime. My voice is being relayed through the approaching ships. Why have you returned?
I can feel the curiosity behind IOS's words. I've been sent to ask for your help.
Interesting. I sense you do so reluctantly. Very well. Follow your escort. We will discuss this mission of yours.
Set destination. Prepare to take us down.
Incoming signal. Data received.
The city glams in the bright, cloudless desert sky. I am welcomed by the sight of an old friend.
It is good to have you around us once more. It has been some time. You have grown fierce.
Any idea what to expect?
Speak plainly and without preamble. The Council respects deliberateness in all that they do. Speak.
I've come at the request of my government, directly from the military leadership.
You may state your case.
We seek an alliance against our mutual adversary.
We are aware of your conflict. We are not prepared to act at this time.
What? This weapon threatens you as much as us.
We advise you to withdraw. Abandon the region bordering on their space.
Run away? Alright, so they don't listen. Their minds are already decided.
You should know that our war with them did not end well for us. We went to war against a foe more powerful than us in every way. Their soldiers were dark and terrible. Directed by a monstrous being with power beyond reckoning. Their greatest weapon spread out as a wave, washing over the galaxy. It shattered worlds and blocked out the stars, leaving nothing but darkness in its wake. The Council was desperate and afraid. They drew upon their enemy's own designs to create a terrible weapon of their own. A weapon of last resort. It created its own wave, only it propagated through a sublime realm instead of normal space, targeting their foes at a genetic level. It was very effective, but it had unforeseen consequences. We did not know that we shared a common ancestor with our foes. Our very substance was changed on a fundamental level, degenerating our once perfect forms. This is the seed, one of the ancient foundations for all of our technology. It is one of the oldest relics, one of 7 others like it. It is quasi-sentient. You need only to interface it with your ship, and it will incorporate itself into your technology. It will supplant and replace the necessary material with its own. It is a remnant from a time long past. Each one is unique, powerful, and extremely dangerous. The risk is necessary. I believe the danger to be far greater than any of us know.
Ship, begin an examination.
Preliminary scans indicate stealth capabilities and hull generation possibilities.
Right. Prepare to implement once the investigation is complete. Get us on the way. Many years ago. Adam? Hello? What?
Hello. Welcome to Uridar.
What's a Uridar? What happened? How did I get here?
You were badly injured. You have been here for many months, healing.
Oh. Did anyone else make it?
No. I am sorry.
Why can't I see you?
You have been through a lot. I don't wish to frighten you.
Who are you?
You can call me Iosis.
I want to see you.
Soon.
Weeks later.
Today,
Really? What? Hi. It's been years. I never thanked you for saving me.
soon you will return to your own kind. There is a home for you out there somewhere, waiting.
Bye, Iosis. And so I leave, carried towards a home world I had never known. The CSS Augustus, a long way from where I left it. Things are not going well.
Destroyers to 4. Launch fighters.
An explosion rocks the port side. The fighters take station between the shield ship and the destroyers. The Valen City ship unleashes another massive blast of destructive force. The blast is devastating, even through the shield.
Report.
The Antrium is down. Port side reporting severe damage, sir. Engines are down. Fire control en route. Enemy launching fighters! The next one is going to take us out! The Indra is down! Direct hit! They're down! They're down!
The Kine is mortally damaged. Its captain makes a choice. I approach the site of the battle.
Incoming signal.
Alexander, you missed the party.
I can see that. How can I assist?
We have limited propulsion. It will be repaired shortly, but these dreadnoughts keep returning to pick at us. Nothing serious, but it is enough to keep us from getting ahead on the repairs.
Yeah, understood. I will help you keep them off your back.
They're back! Dreadnoughts at 3. Second wing moving to intercept.
ATA.
6 minutes to contact. However, they will reach the Augustus in 3 minutes. The second wing is engaging.
It's not enough. Did they just...
Affirmative. The second wing is destroyed, but their target is disabled.
They bought us some time. Now let's make it count. Break off! Break it off!
The Dreadnought is launching more fighters.
Bring us in closer. I am going to buy us an opening. Open channel. General, I have a plan. Exhaust hissing from around the damaged portion of the hull. The Augustus rolls, turning its exposed port side away from the battle. All of the ordnance in the entire section detonates.
Crystal integration 100%. Stealth systems active.
Is there any signs that we are detected?
Negative.
Good. All right. Now we just sit back and enjoy the free ride through their defenses. A ship descends towards planet Voss, unknowingly carrying a hidden passenger. Ship, any signs that we are detected?
Negative, Anna. Approaching target.
The voice of the AI is calm and confident. A place that I do not feel. Not here. The planet Voss is a ruined world. I'm the only survivor of a colony lost 20 years ago. My ship lands silently in the ruins. I use a collapsed house as a barrier.
Stealth field 100%.
Passive scans only. We don't want to be detected.
Acknowledged. Entering low power mode.
I've not seen my former home since I escaped it. I was a child then. The years had certainly softened my memory of Voss. I tried to forget and only remember the good times. It's difficult, though, to deny with the truth staring me directly in the face. I can feel the vibration of something approaching through the bottoms of my feet. The only available cover is an old sewer grate.
Alert. Energy signature approaching.
I don't have a visual. Stand by.
1 unit in closing.
A scratching sound builds in intensity.
Alert. Alert. Alert.
I've seen these things before. They're the stuff of nightmares. My nightmares. Lost in memory, I do not feel the concrete cracking behind me. I fall a long way down. I've spent many years on Eurodar Prime, but with no family left, I was sent to the military academy on the homeworld. Today is my first day of school. I'm so isolated. My accent marks me as an outsider. The scars on my face makes me stand out even more. I do not like it here. My own personal nemesis is named Laura. She does not like my face. My injury is really starting to slow me down. Every morning, we run 1.5 miles. Unable to keep up, I work to build a steady pace. I hear Laura's mocking voice. I'm not the only one. Clearing contents run even slower than me. Ugh! I finally have had enough. If If it was only her, she would just take it. But someone has to stand up for the others. After that, the three of us was inseparable. We were the squad of the reminder of our time at the academy. In finding others like myself and defending them, I discovered a new home here. I awakened to sounds of alarms.
Alert! Alert! Alert!
He almost sounds worried. Ship! Where am I?
Sensors detect a large structure ahead.
This could be it. The design does not match the city above me. He's called Svet. It's a name that's earned in combat. He's a general of the Vale. But unlike most generals, he prefers to command from the front. It has certainly kept him in power for a very long time. He has a reputation of being brutal. He detects something that should not be here. It's an energy signature that he does not recognize. He refuses to believe it. No one could have breached his defenses like this. No one. I'm shocked at the beauty of the habitat. I was not prepared to find such beauty on this desolate world. I sense that there's something out of place. I've learned to trust my instincts. Ship, scan for movement.
Scanning. Detecting abnormal readings. High probability of a hostile target.
I toss a grenade over my shoulder as I run to make the pursuit more difficult from the unseen pursuer. This building is a maze! Ship projects a map of the structure. The computer core is below. It is using the lake water as a coolant. My plan is to create a distraction. Ship, ready a modem.
Acknowledged. Deploying.
I ready myself for battle. The wall collapses in front of me. The enemy stands revealed. I extend my primary weapon. And so does he. Impossible! I created this weapon. How can he have a copy of it? I need to buy Ship enough time to download the database. Overwhelmed, I try to land a fatal strike. He takes advantage of the opening. It was a costly mistake. The last thing that I see is him reaching for my mask. I awaken with a start. Ship? What happened?
Hello, Anna. You were returned 13 hours ago with severe thoracic injuries.
Returned? Who returned me?
I have visual records.
The very last thing that I remember was being impaled through the stomach. I watched as the being that called itself Svet carried me back to his ship. makes no sense. He had defeated me. Why would he go to such length to save me? Ship, identify that device.
The device is of Velm origin. It projects a stasis field of 5 by 10 to the 12th power.
That is enough to protect the ship. I can definitely use this. Despite my injuries, the mission was successful. After recovering, I set out to complete my mission. The weapon has to be destroyed. I enter the sewer below the ruined colony. I sense movement. I'm not alone. Ship? Scanners?
Unable to localize due to interference.
Interference? Something dives behind me. An impact knocks me off my feet. I turn as I fire my weapons. It has no effect. Ship, find me a weakness.
Targeting.
Oh. Okay, so with the threat eliminated, I continue towards my target. The circular chamber extends farther than I can see. Ship, activate propulsion units.
Initiating.
I am astonished by the amount of life that is thriving in this place. It is almost enough for me to forget what this place is. Well, almost.
I smell sweet night in your black hair. I saw heaven in your eyes. A beauty that no one compares to. A chance you'll never given twice. You won my trust, you made me fall for you. Falling into a deep trance. All I knew, your voice was a song. Your walk was a dance. So I never had the chance.
Amazing.
It felt like it would last forever. That words into fit just right. Oh, I don't know if I still hate or love you, but you ruined my mind and the speed of light.
I feel a vibration before I see its source. Something approaches. My timing must be exact. Success! Chip easily overrides the door mechanism. The data he downloaded included schematics. It's called a harvester.
Alert. Movement detected.
The creatures lurched towards me, crawling. In one fluid motion, I decapitate them both. It continues to move without a body. We are forced to take an indirect path to reach our destination.
Accessing navigation. Altering course.
The harvester descends deeper into the aquatic habitat. Deeper still. There is a savage beauty to this place. It is dangerous, even for the greatest of monsters. I descend deeper and deeper. Truly gargantuan creatures dwell here. I sense something else. Something even more dangerous is hidden here in the depth. I'm relieved as the harvester begins to ascend. It burns above the habitat like a red sun. The veil and shield will only last for so long in this heat. Ship starts the countdown. 10, 9, 5, 3. Time is running out.
Approaching target.
2. Ship! I need an entrance!
Scanning. Scanning. Target confirmed.
It flows up and around my feet, pulling me under. The walls move as I'm looking at them.
No telemetry.
Ship sounds almost confused. Space is different in here. It's not linear. That has to be the core. It speaks to me without using words. The red crystal requires a sacrifice in exchange for its freedom? Well, offer accepted.
Alert, alert, alert.
I do not hesitate. A warm feeling envelops my hand. It does not hurt. My hand is gone, not cut, just gone. Well, I'm more surprised than anything else. The suit automatically seals over the breach. I notice the red light dimming as I depart. Ship, exit plan! I launch up through the main passage. The structure begins to collapse. The automated weapons in the tunnel target me. My exit has arrived. Perfect timing.
Welcome, Anna.
Prepare the medical bay. The damage prevents the replacement with a clone hand.
Connecting synthetic hand.
My injuries are really beginning to add up. I worry that further injuries will make it impossible for me to complete my mission.
Second artifact detected.
It's in the mountains, on the other side of the continent. The new hand functions well. Thank you, ship. The shield ship performed adequately, but we need to make it last longer.
Theoretically, combining the crystal with the shield device and a remote data modem, it would drastically improve its effectiveness.
Go ahead and do it. The exhaust is so corrosive that even my armor would corrode in minutes. The new shield performs flawlessly. The exhaust vents provides me with an entrance. The database describes this place as an ore processing facility. I traveled deep into the mountains through the vents filled with poisonous gas. I locate the second artifact in the central chamber. Ore pours in from above. This is all one large melting factory! I place explosives all around the support structure. This entire factory must be destroyed. Getting in is easier this time. This artifact is completely different inside. Ship?
Accessing. Processing hundreds of images. Alert. Life forms detected.
Prisoners? We can't destroy this facility with all them in it. I exit the artifact, leaving behind a remote access modem. Ship guides me towards the holding pens. There are hundreds of prisoners here. Hello? I have a plan.
You're human. Get us out of here.
The surface of the pyramid has a landing platform. When you hear my signal, make a break for the ship. I'll locate an automated transport. Ship easily takes over its control systems.
What about you?
Alright, I've cleared the corridor. Good luck. Alarms blare as automated drones and overseers rush to attack the intruder. I back up against the wall. I know that I only have to hold out long enough for the prisoners to escape. The enemy falls, one by one. Despite the danger, I'm almost enjoying myself. The same alarm is relayed in the city of Vastus. It is received by the General Svet himself. He watches the battle below him. Molten material is splashing everywhere. Good. He welcomes the danger. I knew that he would come. I still had so many questions. Why had he rescued me before? I'm prepared to face him this time, however. The last time I tried to overpower a stronger foe. This time I work to deflect his attacks. As we fight, I begin to feel a disturbing sense of familiarity. Ship, status.
The last of the prisoners are exiting the structure.
Time to finish this. I see an opening and I take it. In my moment of victory, I do not see a piece of the structure collapsing behind me. The world goes sideways with pain. Adam? The world goes dark and falls away. He scans me, his heavy heart turning to surprise. His solution was obvious and effective. He carefully lifts my fallen form. Family long lost, now reunited. I find myself in an endless grey void. It's a space between life and death. I recognize the figure next to me. A white glow surrounds us both, pushing away the shadows. 6 other points of light join us, converging from the emptiness. The red Svea approaches the white, They spin together tightly as if they were fighting. A darkness glows, consuming everything as it takes form. It's an eighth sway of absolute darkness and malice. The seven lights notice his presence and chases their endless battles. They join forces together to face this new and terrible danger. Awake with a start, I remember everything. Pain and death. But somehow I have returned alive and whole. "20 years ago in the dark city of Vastus," Adam screams over and over. The last thing that he can remember is a ruined parking building and being captured. He does not know where he is or what is being done to him. All he knows is pain and experiments. Through the agony and fear, he feels something change inside him. He has a vision of a powerful shadow realm. He sees the image as a dark and terrible master. There are billions kneeling before it in fear and awe. When he's not on the experiment table, he's trapped in a crowded prison cell. Something has turned within him. Were the experiments successful, or had he just accepted his new situation? Another prisoner approaches too aggressively. Adam's anger finds an outlet. He hesitates only for a moment. With an inhuman rage, he tears the creature in half. The overseers immediately notice a change in Adam. They bring him to the Colosseum before a crowd of thousands. His adversary is several times his size. Adam does not stand a chance. There is one being in the crowd that senses his potential. His smile is unsettling. Adam is approached by a master called Siren. He becomes his initiate and will be trained to fight.
Not like I have a choice.
It's nightmare logic. He wonders why his master never lets Frigg deliver the fatal bow to him during training. It would be a blessed release in this place. He endures one humiliating defeat after another. Frigg seemed to enjoy the brutality of beating a helpless foe. Adam learns to hate. In his pain and rage, something awakens. He senses a dark fluid coursing through the others. Is this the source of their power?
What am I seeing?
Adam wants it. He wants it all. Saren's teaching eventually leads Adam to a hidden chamber. A dark ichor stains the altar and floor. Adam can feel the rhythmic vibration through the floor beneath him. It's like the pulsation of a heart. Saren throws a bound rival onto the altar. Saren produces a dark crystalline dagger from underneath his robe. His eyes grow dark in the final moments. A wordless promise. No light, no love, no mercy. Adam accepts. He follows Saren's lead, absorbing the dark energy. Adam roars with a sound of rage, finally set free. Adam begins to secretly increase his power. His victims has done nothing to him. He does not care. He thinks about nothing except from escape. He needs more. Anywhere. Everywhere, anyone. He feeds for months in secret. Now he's finally ready to make his move. He watches his prey from the shadows unnoticed. Rig revels in his victory, oblivious to the danger. Adam attacks in one fluid motion. It's fatal. He completely consumes the vast stores of the power from the fallen Titan. The crowd goes wild. He joins in with the rebels, just one more face in the crowd. The crowd disperses quicker than expected.
Who?
A trap? The blue-cowled figure says nothing, just points him towards the exit. It's unexpected, but not unwelcome. His newfound power has left him arrogant. He's ready for anything. A familiar figure blocks his path. Saren? Although Adam never met him directly, he recognizes the governor of his lost colony. How is he alive? Did he cause this?
Traitor.
No matter where you go, you can never escape from who you really are.
Adam does not care. He just want to leave. The landing platform is empty. The governor's ship sets unguarded. It responds to the dark substance coursing through his veins. Perhaps his words were true. Saren's last words haunt him. I awaken in ship's medical bay. I remember dying and being reborn in the void. I remember the last thing that I saw before I died. Adam is alive.
How are you feeling?
I thought you were dead. Again.
It seemed better if everyone thought me gone for good. I had to go.
Don't pretend you did it for my own good. How could you go back to them? Why did you save me?
Because you're my sister.
In this I still recognize my brother. He had always been like this, emotionally cut off and unwilling to explain. He has an urgent mission for us.
There is a place called Errol not far from here. There is another red artifact contained there. By my old master.
He spits the word master. Well, there can only be one reason for the buildup of forces in Errol. An invasion. Well, this is too important to ignore. I can investigate the changes of this new body at some later date, and then deal with my brother. Set course for Errol. A network of Valen battle stations surrounds the entire Errol system. The weapons will converge on any threat. Stage 1. Ship attacks the opposite side of the network. Stage 2. After the Valen forces are committed, detonate secondary technical charges. Stage 3. We infiltrate the aerial construct using 2 escape pods. Ballistic impact. Target achieved. I race from the debris of the impact crater. This station is enormous, large enough to contain entire worlds. There is a stark beauty to this place. Adam's pod impacted some distance away. I locate him at the far side of the terrestrial environment. Are you ready? What are you doing?
Nothing. Let's go.
His target is the artifact, while I provide a distraction. How has he changed? Can he be trusted? I approach Saren. Adam have told me about this monster, the Butcher from Voss. We circle, sizing each other up. I strike first. Contact. I begin to glow with my white light. His surprise turns to fear as his skin begins to crack and smolder. Saren burns. My light shines in the dark. I move swiftly, powerfully. I fight like one possessed. Glorious. Adam locates the artifact. This time, it really lives up to its name. It's the size of an actual red sun. This entire construct serves to contain and channel its vast power. He jumps towards the center of it. The force of its gravity pulls him upwards. Adam faces himself within the sun. He sees his entire life clearly for the very first time. A nightmare of suffering and pain. A lifetime of hatred for a cold and uncaring universe. He sees what he has lost, the dark things that he has done, the choices he made to survive. Shows him all of his faults and why he had chosen this path to begin with. He sees the truth now. There is one thing that he hates more than anything else. Himself. Adam accepts his truth and is reborn in the fire. He remembers his former master's words.
You can never escape from who you really are.
Eyes red as fire, he makes a final proclamation.
I will kill them all.
I am more than holding my own against Saren. Suddenly, he shudders and convulsions. A black and red blade thrust through his chest from behind. vengeance. Without the Red Sun's power, the Aeron structure begins to collapse under its own colossal weight. We'll locate a long-range vessel and make our escape. We rendezvous with ship outside of the system. Are you okay?
Let's finish this.
Setting a course for Voss.
Everything changed the day Adam learned that I was still alive. He was in a bar on a remote colony relaxing between jobs when an old man wearing a blue hood started talking to him. It was an article about the military R&D. Nothing exciting. The picture catches his eye. He reads the caption.
Second from left, Anna Alexander.
He could not believe his eyes. He had never dared to hope. Adam left for the homeworld immediately. I could not believe it either when the general told me. Adam? He was alive. Alive! In the next year, we worked together in research and development. I had questions about where he had been, but I was just happy to have him back. I was less than thrilled, though, when he started dating Laura, my former school nemesis. Or actually, Laura chose him. They were a good match. She was nowhere near to the dark places where Adam had been, though. There was something off about her, but she was just so full of life, you know, so I rolled with it. I'm just glad that he seemed so happy. At long last, we had a home, working in the lab and going on missions. Laura, she sang at the bar every weekend, and Adam, he helped me with my armor tech. I had no idea where his innovations were coming from, but my project was back on track. Everything was going perfectly. The lull between missions was beginning to wear on Adam. An imbalance was growing in him. Laura noticed and tried to help him burn off his dark impulses. His mask was slipping. A couple argues at the bar. It escalates. Adam's eyes go dark. Their lives are perfect and this is how they act. The other man never sees it coming. Not that it would have saved him.
So you like to hurt others.
Something rises in Adam. It shakes him to his core. It turns over and over in his mind. He could feel all of the hatred and violence that the other man had ever inflicted on others.
What am I that I can do this?
Adam couldn't escape from what he is, not even here. This world is grey and flat. He's the only threat here, even to her. There is only one way to protect her from his demons. Give her a chance to live a life in the light. Adam planned out every detail carefully. He needed to remove every trace of his presence here. The General has always been suspicious of his miraculous return, but even more so now. All of his research was stored locally, and there is enough volatile material stored in the building to destroy absolutely everything. The command staff is leaving for a conference the next day. This will be the best opportunity. I was having the best week.
I'm about done. Are you about finished?
Yeah, I can't stare at this any longer.
Meet you at the bar?
Yeah, see you there. She's good for you, you know.
I know. Want to go outside? Coming up?
Ha! Yes. We sat together in a comfortable silence for a long time, like we did when we were children so long ago.
I'm sorry that I lost you in that parking structure. That's when everything went wrong.
Surprise! This is the conversation I've been waiting for. There wasn't anything you could have done. We were just kids. Besides, I don't really remember our parents anymore.
Not surprising. You were really little when it happened.
Is that why you're always so tough all the time? I know you aren't really that mean.
I learned to bury it by being strong, covering it up. But also point to it as a show of strength, showing it off as a challenge to the world. Look at what I can endure.
We continued talking long into the night. Despite what happened next, looking back, I would always consider this the best night of my life. The next day we performed a series of armor endurance tests. Everything went as normal until the first alarm sounded.
What?
An explosion rips through the building. There's been some sort of accident? We're in lockdown. What to do?
Get in a containment cylinder.
But what about you?
My armor will protect me.
The look in his eyes would haunt me forever.
I'm sorry.
For the second time in my life, I've lost everyone and everything. I thought long and hard about what my brother said to me that night on the roof, about using my scars as a mark of strength. I was proud of all that I had survived. The tattoos looked stylish and fierce. I bet Adam would have liked that. With a stolen ship and Adam's inside knowledge, we returned to inflict Planet Voss. Our target? The central command structure. Ship remained behind in orbit, stealthy to provide backup or destruction if needed. We approached unchallenged. Every cell of my body surging with power. Both crystals know what lies ahead. A sense of darkness fills the chamber. It undulates, pulling itself up in the center of the room. The dark riding mass forms a shape that is familiar to Adam. The face of his nightmares. The darkness attacks with streams of giant serpents comprised of its own substance. Brother and sister fight, moving together as one for the first and only time in their entire lives. The personification of the red and the white standing together against eternal night.
Go limp.
What? The move catches me by surprise. Before I can react, I'm already in the middle of it. The light's loathing is a tangible force. It reacts by releasing all of its stored energy at once, in one single burst. I probably can't do that again. Adam strikes without warning.
Construct, you saw how this has to end?
I believe so.
Ship spent a long time within the crystal watching and learning, calculating his role in our fate.
Accessing command systems. Assuming control.
No.
Construct, get her out of here!
And so we run. Our shared form moves far beyond the limits of human strength or endurance. The light pours out of me, destroying every obstacle in our path. Adam stands alone against the beast, the same way that he always has. As the monster reforms, he allows himself one last moment, a final epitaph to his lost home and the last of his family.
I love you.
Adam screams as he consumes the shadows all around him. All of the darkness and pain of a murdered world. Then his body expands to colossal proportions, breaking through the surface and freeing him from the ancient structure. Ship raises me over the edge of a cliff into the waiting arms of my vessel. His moment of destiny. Adam and the crystal speaks together as one being.
Now.
For the first time in history, the red and the black make direct physical contact and detonates. With his dying breath, Adam extinguishes all of was. Everything that it was or ever would be. I wake up on my ship outside the VAS system. I should have been surprised, but I knew my brother. Perhaps this was his own absolution for losing me so many years ago. He had tried his best with the sad choices that life had brought him. But I still feel my brother out there somewhere. Something worth saving. Something moves in the remains of Voss. A dark figure that once was Adam pulls itself back together. A haunting laughter echoes into the void.